Hi, it's Tina at Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch and lots of cross stitch. Sometimes some specialty stitches, but very little else. So if you're here for cross stitch, great. If you're here for something else, sorry. I am not involved in any knitting or crocheting or quilting at the moment. I can do those, but I am too busy to do those right now. So this is what I'm doing, and it is especially busy right now because it is September the 12th. 4:30ish in the afternoon. No, it's 5 o'clock. It's now evening. So it was a busy day, and it's been busy because September also means ABCingo by the monthly magazine challenge group on Facebook. Carolyn Zook and Robin Bird's Eye Stitcher, I think it's Hall. But yeah, they came up with this way to encourage us to touch different projects / focus on projects, perhaps get a bingo in the process. It's not like Jessie Marie's WIP Go in that Jessie Marie will call a number and that is a set square. So everybody's board, the squares are all going to be in the same position. So if she calls like 15, it will be third row last. For ABCingo, it is you make your own board, you come up with a project and put them randomly on your board, and then they will call a letter, and then that letter is somewhere on your board and you have to do an hour or 100 stitches. So I have decided to take, I think I got about 20 projects out of 25. I have 6 doubles, so what is that, 19 projects on here. And yeah, if they're doubled up, it's because either I couldn't come up with another letter for that, another project for that letter, or I want to get it more progress. So for example, Royal Tutor, I have on here 3 times. I have it on R for Royal, and K for King's Crown, and somewhere else, I for Iridescent. So I was fortunate in that R and K were called right away, back to back. I'm just making notes of the letters because I did not make very good notes when I got ready here. So I'm going to start showing you the projects that I worked on for ABCingo, and I have a couple of other projects that I worked on outside of that challenge. And there's 2 projects that I'm not sure if I showed you in my last video, and it was right around when I filmed that I did work on these, so I brought them over to share anyways. There's also something that I started probably in about 2006, 2007. It was in my bin of shame, and I pulled it out because so little had to be done to finish it, so I mostly finished it. You'll see what I mean. So I have the ABCingo stack right here in pretty much the order they were called, and I have to say I was talking to or messaging with Candy from 614 Stitcher because she watched my video and she had told me that picking strawberries could be fun too. And it's like, yes, well, no, but it would fit the fun and games category for the September acrostic in the monthly magazine challenge group. So I was kind of challenged by her comment to pull it out and fix the mistake that I had made. The mistake being my color choice. And I picked another color to go with this project. So this is Jeanette Douglas, because the first letter called September 1 was J, and that is my Jeanette Douglas, and that is my strawberry stitches. Looks like this. This calls for silk, and I had converted it to use silks that I already have in my stash. And what ended up happening was I had picked a color, and because the colors on the key are listed in two different spots, one spot's for Gloriana and another spot's for Access Commodities, Soie d'Alger, and I was only basing my colors on the Access Commodities, Soie d'Alger. I had picked out 3 greens, and it turns out there was a General Arts green as well, and that's the one I had chosen to use in the first colorway. I needed 4 shades of green. I had 3. So I had to make a decision what to do. So I went back into my stash and I pulled out Forest by Gloriana to use in place of Olive Grove. So I had to pull out all of the Olive Grove I already had stitched, replace it with Forest, and then stitch the Olive Grove where it actually is Olive Grove. I hope that made sense. So here are my colors. Worn Brick Path, Apple, and Oak Leaves are the called for colors. Pesto by Karen Waterlilies, Beanstalk by Classic Colorworks, Antique Brass by Karen Collection, Waterlilies, Forest and Olive Grove by Gloriana, Silken Colors Sunflower, and Maple Syrup is the called for Simply Wool by Gentle Arts. So a mix of what I had and what was called for. I did order. So all of that to say, here is where it is at now, stitched on 32 count cream Belfast linen. So I believe I also, so I had fixed the leaves, and then for the challenge I stitched the border because it was 100 stitches or an hour. So that's where that one is. Now I am more inclined to stitch on it again because it is not in timeout. Okay. Day 2. This is going to be a long video if I have to keep explaining lots of stuff like that, but I shouldn't have to. Day 2 is England's Rose. This is also from a magazine, an older magazine. This one is technically not cross-stitch. That's what it's supposed to look like. This one is counted canvas, and I'm also converted it. I wanted to not have, well, mostly it was can't find half of those products anymore, and I wanted it to have a bolder colorway. So this is where it's at, and I worked on the beading up here. So that is getting progress, and another one of those where it was, I don't really want to put it away because if I just keep working on it, I could get that done. Then day 3. And I've been able to, up until day 10, keep on track stitching that project on the day it was called. So day 3 was A, and I have a Dia by Mirabilia written down for that day. This is what she is supposed to look like if you stitched her on the called for neutral type fabric. I chose not to stitch her on a neutral fabric. I chose instead to stitch her on a very bright, bold Huntress by Picture This Plus 32 count Belfast, and I got a lot of stitches done. And I basically picked up 2 thread colors and decided to just work those in as far as I could. And I had realized after I had done quite a bit that there was a mistake down here. I was able to undo a few stitches down here and fix it, which was not what I would normally do because I was stitching it from here up. So normally I would unstitch and then fix it, but it was like I unpicked a few stitches, stitched it back in, fixed it. It's done. It's a very, that is pretty close to true color. So this is from that part up her dress. So that was day 3. My puppy bag. All of these project bags I have made myself, just in case you're wondering. Day 4. Day 4 was R, which was Royal Tudor Mandala by Chatelaine. Day 5 was K, King's Crown, for Royal Tudor Mandala by Chatelaine. When I wrote King's Crown, I was hoping I would work on the King's Crown, but I'm not even near that spot on here. So I did not bring the bag over to show you what it would look like. I will try to insert a picture here. And here's where it is. So I worked on filling in more of this darker color in the stained glass area. So that's where that's at. Another one that I want to stitch on. Pick it up more often. Okay. Day 6. N. I had Nora Corbett written down for N. And I have all of the Christmas Eve couriers. And I finished 2 of them. And I have 7 more to go. So I decided, well, I'll just throw in a reindeer here and there. I'll get one every couple days or something like that. But no, I got 4 in a row. And when I picked them up and started working on them, I was like, wow, this one's actually really close to being finished. I should work on it some more. But then I had to put it down to pick up the next one. So the first one, I wrote down Dasher for Nora Corbett. That's not Dasher. That's Blitzen. I don't think I brought Dasher over, which is fine because Dasher is pretty much finished. All that's left are beads and the special treasures that go on the wreath on his, or on the saddle decoration. So Dasher could be finished by Christmas. Then Blitzen, because Z was called and Blitzen has a Z. So that's what Blitzen will look like when it's finished. And here's where it's at now. So I believe I just worked on the browns at the bottom, trying to give him a full body. Then came X. Well, for X, I picked Vixen because it has X in it. It's also made up of a bunch of X's. This is another one that I left in the Q-snap because it is on the board twice. So I thought, well, there's no point taking it off. Plus, it's very close to a finish. So I worked on, I put the back stitching in, and I believe I finished, no, I finished the border. The border only came about halfway. So I finished the border and started the back stitching. Yeah. So he needs a tail and a little bit more back stitching for the antlers, and then all of the beads. So that's Vixen. There's still more. Next was Y. So for Y, I put Yule because Christmas Eve couriers, once again. This one is Dancer. So here is Dancer now. I finished, there was a strand of thread for the border. I finished that off. I gave her a tail, and I believe I gave her more antlers. So that's Dancer. And then Q was called. So for Q, I have Queen Mariposa. Again, designed by Nora Corbett of Mirabilia. You see a trend? I really like Mirabilia and Nora Corbett. And this one is being stitched. Okay, all the Christmas Eve couriers are on 32 count Nocturne Belfast linen by Picture This Plus. This is 32 count Zephyr linen by Picture This Plus. And here's where it's at now. And all of the blank spaces, which you may not be able to see very well because of the color of the fabric, but it's all beads, which makes it very hard when stitching it. You look at the symbol and like, oh, I'll do the S. Oh, that's a bead. I'll do the C. Oh, it's a bead. I'll do the B. Oh, it's a bead. At least on some of the charts, like no, not that one. On I think it's Crystal Christmas, all of the beads are a dot shaped symbol. Makes it easier to distinguish. But anyways, so for this one I did finish up this side, and I'm starting on the arms and chest area. That was Q for day 10. Day 11 is, what was 11? C, Comet. Yet another Christmas Eve courier. So this is where it's at, and this has not been worked on yet. So that one I'm leaving out with the frame and the working copy so that I can work on it tonight. Day 12 was O. Today's the 12th, so I finished up part 8, 9, 10, yes. I finished up part 8 on Owl Forest embroidery. This is also my lunch break project. This is not a Mirabilia or Nora Corbett. This is Owl Forest embroidery. Day 12 was so Owl Forest. So I finished. This was part 8. That is finished. This is the caterpillar on the mushroom. That's part 9. Part 10 is the border along the bottom. And part 11 was dropped on Friday, and that is some dueling lizards. So, some of the stitches I have left out because I am either short in my supply of threads that I have chose myself. I'm either low or no, I'm low. So for instance, the caterpillar is supposed to be in this color. I have to order more. Periwinkle by Weeks Dye Works. And I'm probably going to have to order more straw bonnet. So I think I'm going to order 2, just because. I also couldn't finish the house because I need more crisp bonbon. This one I did order, it's on the way. So yeah, it is eating up a lot of thread, but because I don't know which colors are going to be called, like used when, because it's a mystery, I hadn't ordered those because they weren't being used very often in previous parts. So that's that. So that gets us all caught up for ABCingo. But I don't have a bingo yet. I am 1 letter away. That would be B for beloved. And that would be the top row. Right there. Comet is right here. So yeah, that's where that's at. The other projects that I worked on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go get more charts and stuff. So, this one I had worked on at the end of August, but I'm not sure if it made my last video. So, just thought I would share it now. And now that I'm looking at it, I remember, oh yeah, there's a mistake. I think. I'm also gonna have to try to try to find another picture quickly to share with you, because this is also part of a stitch along, and I am stitching the letter T from Les Belles Lettres de Gigi series by GGR, and you can barely make out any of it, so you can use your imagination. Okay, so hopefully we won't be interrupted anymore. So this is the Lettres de GGT stitched 2 over 2 with anchor black on 40 count. No, sorry, I believe this is 35. Maybe it's 40 count. It's Edinburgh linen that I dyed myself. It's very bright. I also refer to this as the sexy sampler because it's black and pink, because what could be more sexy? So I worked on this guy over here, this giant shepherd guy with the little tiny tree sitting with little tiny people in the background. There's supposed to be a dog here. I just moved my needle minder there because there's nothing stitched there. I started the letters across here, but something's not lining up quite right, and I know I had to fudge this. I thought I had started this in order to make it right. If something's wrong, I'm not sure where it is, so that had me put a pause on this project for now. And I'm stitching this with Janine, a buddy of mine, and she is stitching the letter S, and hopefully you'll be able to see that. She is stitching hers over 1 on 40 count with Gutermann silk. So that's that. The other project that I think I did not show you yet, but I have worked on. I said I was going to work on it. I think I said I was going to work on it till it's finished. That didn't happen. It is getting closer to a finish, and I really should just work on it a lot more. Yeah, Crystal Christmas by Mirabilia. And my needle is still stuck inside into the fabric. But all I'm working on now is the beading. Wonder if I not sure if that's going to help or not. But all of the beading on her is finished. There's beading up here. There's some little swirlies of snow, I'm assuming, across the top here. So that's where that's at. There's a lot of beads in this project. And because I have it on such a big frame, I need a lot of space to work on it. This does not fit in the Lowry. So it means that it's a sit at the table and work on it there project. The next one is a biggie. And if you've been with me for a while, you will know which one I am referring to. This is a project that I hope to have finished in a year. I have a goal. I'm going to try to stick to my goal. This is Beloved by Heaven and Earth Designs. Here's what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. I just gotta get my threads out of the way. And yes, it's on the frame this time. And here it is now. Once again, I have to stand up. So I have been working on just getting my parked threads done and out of the way. In the mornings, when I want to get a lot of quantity of stitches done, I will work on the black. Over here, if I have 20 minutes or half an hour in the morning, that's where it goes. My goal on this is to have this finished by August of 2022. I'm going to show it up close so you can see. Half stitch, 2 threads over 1 on 25 count, even weave. So, my plan is, I did the math, and if I was to stitch 180 stitches a day for the next year, it would be finished. So my plan is to stitch 200, average of 200 a day, minimum 1400 a week. And I'm going to start my week on Sunday and end it on Saturday, and if I have bonus stitches left over, I'm not going to carry them forward. So we'll see how that goes. So for instance, yesterday I stitched 560 stitches. That was Saturday. That was the end of the week. So the new week started today, and I got 150 stitches in, and my tablet was dying. So I could have got a lot more, but darn technology requiring batteries, power, all that stuff makes it difficult. I had considered pulling out my paper pattern and just working on the black, but we also have stuff that we have to do around the house. So I decided, no, I will leave it at 150, and I will try to make up for it during the week or on Saturday. So we'll see how this goes. I have one more project to show, and unless you've watched my Bin of Shame video from about 3 years ago, you won't have seen this project because I haven't shared it. And I've decided to pull it out. I've had it written in my planning book pretty much the whole time. because I just needed to work on it a little bit to get it finished. So I decided to just get it finished. One of the things that I wanted to do was modify where it had lettering, and I didn't want that lettering on it because two things. Well, one thing really. I wasn't at the Stitching Festival 2006, but friends of mine were there, and they picked this up for me. So this is Stony Creek Commemorative Sampler 2006 from Cats Stitching Festival. I think it was Cats. Regardless. So it says Stitching Festival down here. Okay, I'm going to take it out of the plastic. I don't know if it'll help you see it better, because it is pale lettering. I had all of the cross stitches done, specialty stitches across here, the alphabet. This area was finished. The only thing left to do was filling something in here and doing the beads. So I decided to finally chart out what I wanted to put there and do the beads. Now the beads I thought I already had. It calls for Mill Hill 42010, which is a crystal bead, petite, and I didn't have that, but I did have the beads from or for my Royal Tudor mandala, and I looked at how many are actually needed for the mandala, and it doesn't require all that many, and I had bought like a 7-gram tube. So here it is, finally finished. It calls for charms in here, which, if I remember right, they're not even available anymore. And last night I was thinking, I am just going to put my initials in over one stitching here, like T, G, and call it finished. So it's not quite finished yet. So you can kind of see the sparkle of the beads. And I also chose Mill Hill size 6 ice crystal beads to put in the center of the satin stitches there. And so X Stitch Buddies is a group that I've been a member of since 1998. It has been around since before that, but it is a private group. There's maybe 200 of us, and these are the pals, the friends of mine that got together at the Stitching Festival and bought me the pattern and the specialty threads required. So it really did deserve to be finished. There is a special stitch that comes across the bottom here, which I have not done yet. I attempted it and I did poorly at it, so I ripped it out. I may be trying it again. So yeah, there's beads around here pesky housefly. So there's another finish. So, plans. I think I should figure out my initials for that project there, and ABCingo ruling my life right now. Beloved, of course, 200 stitches a day average. That's my hopes. And Owl Forest Embroidery Alice. This one, I hope to catch up. I am 3 parts behind. They're not great, but it's not horrible either. They're releasing every 2 weeks. So, yeah. Life update. So we went to the follow-up appointment for my husband's back surgery. We saw the neurosurgeon on the 1st. Yeah, the 1st. And he said that the surgery and the recovery is all going very well, and to still take it easy on things like rough ATV rides, shoveling and twisting and lifting heavy things. Make sure you lift with your knees, that kind of thing. And so aside from that, he was very happy with the way things were going. So on our way back from that visit, which meant that we had to go all the way to Thunder Bay, we were right near Kakapak Falls, which is one of our provincial, I'm thinking, is it a provincial or national park? But it's definitely a provincial park here in Canada. And so we went there, and we decided to do a little hike that we did way back when we got married, and the trail was a lot better in that it had been used a lot more than it had been when we went the first time. It had just been the beginnings of a trail. It was like coming soon. So we did that. We had a great time, and that was a 2-hour-long hike, and he was able to do the whole thing no problem. That's when I did a lot more stitching in the car on the Owl Forest piece, because I find that one is actually really good for car stitching. It's on, probably didn't mention this, it's on 32 count raw linen, two strands over 2. Other updates, back to work. First day of work was on Tuesday right after Labor Day, and that was quite a stressful event in that it was back to work after a holiday in a pharmacy that's closed on the weekends and holidays. That can be a very busy day. So, and then there was training another person to do a job for another person who's going on maternity. So that was happening too. Yeah, aside from that, everything else is going good. I have a few things coming. They should be here any day, but who knows? I hope to share them with you in my next video. And considering how much stitching the monthly magazine challenge is making me do, I might have to do this in a week. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. So you'll notice I'm not back in my craft room yet. Oldest son is still staying here. Still needs to work on his house, and it's one of those things where you start doing one thing and you uncover another problem. So we were over there today. That's why I'm filming late. We were over there yesterday. Yeah, stuff happens. Do I expect to be back in there by the end of the month? Honestly, I don't think I will be, but it would be nice. So I am going to say goodbye. I do have I have notes. I want to make sure I got everything. Yeah. I just want to say that Candy, she inspires and challenges me. She is doing things that are new to her, which to me, I've been doing this for a while, so it's like, you can do it. And so she's like, well, you can do it too. So it's very nice to think, yeah, it is new to me, but it's not new to somebody else, and they got experience by just doing it. So yeah, like this stitch that I have to put at the bottom of the sampler, I should just do it. I might get a scrap piece of fabric and try it there first. So yeah, and the next time I go on a hike like that, I told my husband we should do that one every year. But the next time, I think I'm going to bring adult diapers. There's no washrooms on those trails. And it gets me laughing so hard. Really, yeah. So, anyways, this is where I am actually going to say goodbye now, because I'm just going to start rambling, and who knows what else I'll say. So, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to all the new subscribers. If you stuck around this long, you must like what you saw. And thank you to all the people who have been sticking around with me for this long. I do appreciate it. I recognize names when they comment, and I'm like, thanks. So I am going to leave now, have some supper, get this edited and uploaded, and yeah, take care of each other, be kind, happy stitching, bye.